we got our little guy over here. That's what we imported last time in Max. There's going to be a few things to configure on the mesh in order to get the best results for baking, especially everything when it comes to like those things here. So there's a few manipulation we're going to do. First thing I wanted to do though is I want to make sure the character is somewhat of the same size as my other characters in Max, because I'm going to want to reuse my lighting scene. And for that, I need to be at the same scale. So import. Let's let's merge. Let's go get death harbinger. There we go. Death render. Open. Let's grab just the head. There we go. All right. Well, we're already good. I mean, yeah, you could be like half the size, right? But at this point, it's not going to make a difference. Like, what I was looking is like to see if like he's going to be like here in the scene. Like that would be like too much. But at this point, like this, that's good. Check. Next thing, I'm going to test on only one mesh for the moment, and then I'm going to repeat on the others. So one of the things that we realized that helps, oh wait, I'm going to get rid of symmetry. So you saw the character is in symmetry and everything, it's all good. Symmetry is going to disappear for a little while now. All right. Nothing else in symmetry, right? Yep, okay. So I'm going to add a weighted normal. And that might actually help. The weighted normal takes a lot of time to process. But normally, like you have like one value, you put it, and it's done. We're gonna put it at 100. It's just random value that seems to have worked for us so far. See, already 30 has fixed it. It's just 30 sometimes is a bit violent, so let's do a, oops, not 10, Jesus. So you're gonna realize that if you put it like too low, it's gonna start like facetizing things. There we go, 100. Oh, XY Cronus, hello. Hello, hello, hello. So I pressed enter, but it's taking just a little bit of time to process. Okay, well, we're good. We're good. Oh, actually, 30 seem to have been better, eh? Because right now it's kind of like still a bit gross. Let's test halfway between 30 and 100. Okay, so you see it actually like facetizes some parts. This might actually look still good after baking. It was really just like the black things that were actually like the black triangles right there that were a sign that it would be a problem. Let's try 45. Always half of half of half. And it's already, see, that's pretty good. That's really good. Let's just see if like there's parts of my mesh that it's problematic because of this. Yeah, there's, see, like there's weird parts like this, like it made an art edge here, but not there. I don't think this is going to be an issue. As like what we'd want is just to have, okay, you see, so you see like the shading here, the black triangle I'm talking about. This might actually be an issue after baking, or maybe not. The technique is pretty strong in terms of like giving good results, but you want the most of your mesh to look as clean as possible. And this right now looks pretty good to me. I'm willing to try to bake and see the results with this. So yeah, 45. Are we going to use 45 for the rest of the character? Maybe, maybe not. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna delete that weighted normal, and now I'm gonna apply it on like every meshes, actually. Let's remove the symmetry. Hey Marco, hey everyone. Hello Raul Gonzar. So yeah, I don't really have music on my stream anymore because it was more like a problem than a perk in the end. So if people want to listen the same soundtrack as I am, well, go on Spotify and listen to the the latest album of Daft Punk, which is the one from like 7 years ago or something. I'm talking about the Random Access Memory. I'm still listening it to this day. Very good album. Pretty chill. So you see, when doing all the meshes at the same time, it can take like a long time just to be able to select the value you want. It's I wish that like the stack could just not process every like option, and you just basically tell all of the options you need and press enter, and then it processes everything. It's kind of like a pain in the ass, but we're gonna do that only one time, so it's not that bad. Still processing. But if people are asking for the glasses, those are gunner glasses. Just because still have like headaches and stuff, so I'm trying to find a way a way for that to help. You see how clean it got? It's like perfect now. This will render. This will bake and render very well. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yep. Top notch. Even like the organic parts. Did it actually got hard edge in some areas? No, that's just the triangulation. Yeah, things are going to be fine. And if they're not, we just have to rebake. It's okay. So let's we're going to collapse this, but we're going to collapse it by saying convert to editable mesh because I don't want it to become an editable poly. Yep. Okay. All right. So that's already an important step. Next step will be to make the UVs. So let's save this file, and we're gonna export. So let's start by the leg again. It just doesn't matter, but whatever. Export selected. It doesn't have the file. Okay. Actually, bake files. There we go. FBX. So this is going to be leg. Leg LP. Actually, do I want it in FBX or FBX is when it comes back from? Ooh, I think I'm gonna export an OBG. Alright, so yeah, exactly. Low leg, low, max. So just letting myself know this has passed through max, so through the weighted normal things. Oh wait, it's probably not going to keep the weighted normal. I think I've actually, the UVs are coming first and then the weighted normal. I'm going to have to redo the weighted normal. That's what I'm realizing. Whatever. Fine. Export none. Texture coordinates, normal, smoothing, doesn't matter, but whatever. Actually, since I didn't do any resize, I actually don't need at all to do this export. I'm realizing now what I exported from. I'll do it anyway, just in case. Whatever. Okay, so this, now the body. Leg low max, torso, yep, torso low, max, and values. What I meant to say is, like, technically I think I could just take what's coming out of ZBrush, make the UVs, and then put it in max and do what I need to do after. Like, there was no, like, even if it's like a resize, it wouldn't be like that important that I actually put them through max here. It's not like the normals modification I just made is going to affect the UVs in any sense. I don't know, for some reason it kind of like feels safer to add this step, but just might be totally useless. It's not that much of a waste of time, so. Does your machine have 60 gigabyte of memory or 128? I think it's 128. The specs are on the Twitch page. Upper arm low, upper arm max. Boom. You can put the music in another audio track in the OBS and it will be heard in the stream but not in the VOD. Yeah, well, in that sense it's just serving for like one half of the people and one half of the people that like also sometimes complain, so I don't know. I'd rather just invite people to listen to whatever soundtrack that they want at the same time. You just put two things. I mean, it's like sometimes when I used to be a little bit more hyper and stuff, I used to listen to podcast and music at the same time on two different music services. But good tip anyway, Raul. Speranza East, hello. A lot of streamers do that trick and it works. No copy. Yeah, well, I mean, it would be good to know if you have like a link that shows how to use it. Send it my way. I can always check. If not, I'll figure it out. Hey Marco, what is the next character after this one? Well, I'm thinking of like re-rendering the Mega Wawa as well, because like the Mega Wawa was rendered in a like very cheap way. And since I'm going to actually do like something nice with the Mega Gato, I'm thinking the Mega Wawa deserves to have another good render. And after this, I do not know yet. We will see. We will see. All right, save. Open resume. Load without UVs. Boom. Okay, let's start top to bottom. IIRC. If you disable the, okay, by the way, just here it's uploading, right? And sometimes it lags at 10%. That happens often with like big meshes. That's normal if you lose rhythm, but that's why you stay under 1.3, because you like personally with my computer specs it always opened That was pretty fast. All right. I'll read the rest of the message later. Okay, so once we're here, what do we do again? I forgot. Wait. I forgot. I think you changed the res to 4K here. It's going to take a little while. All right, and then you place it back to 8. 16 of margin is maybe a bit too much. Then you go here, you enable the overlap to, I don't remember what's the value. Let me see if, did I save this information? Give me a sec. Yeah, it's just 125. You go in this mode here, and then cut, unwrap, and back. There you go. Yep, there you go. So basically what this is going to do is it's going to just like cut everything. Oh, and that's the part you see that stalls at 10%. Rules of thumb is if actually it takes more than I think 5 minutes at this stage here, it's like it's just never going to complete. It like filled the CPU or the RAM or the whatever, and it's just like stuck in somewhat of like of a endless loop. But like I said, because of the 1.3 million poly low poly mesh, 1.3 million triangle, I should actually be more precise. Normally you should not have any problems with that. It's just if you actually chance yourself and go higher, or for example, if like your computer is like much lower in terms of its capabilities, yeah, you might actually need to reduce a bit, find your sweet spot. So before you go like too far into that process, maybe like do a test with one part of your character. Like this is the forearm of the character, so maybe just like try this. All right, so yeah, we had a question over here or a comment. IRC, if you disable the modifier visibility icon, little I next to it in the stack, you can edit and set multiple options, and then it will only process everything when you turn it back on. Not sure if that's what you meant earlier, Marco. I don't know that that's what I meant. In reality, I don't fully understand what's written here. I would have to write it down, but basically what I did is when I removed the visibility icon, like when I deleted the symmetry, it's just because I wanted it to like stack under, and I didn't want to have to shuffle the stacks because it takes some time to do it because of those. They're like heavy, like the weighted normal stack is pretty heavy, and I just didn't want to have to manipulate it, and I knew I was going to like crush it, but the way that I crush the mesh by right clicking edit mesh, editable mesh, I know it crushes like everything in the stack, so I just didn't want to keep anything. Geo 3D Art, hello. Lorenzo, thanks for the sub. It's pretty cool. On a 2-month streak. Oh yeah. Thank you, Lorenzo. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. With your contribution, I'm gonna buy myself some creamer for my coffee. There you go. So you see, it just went to 25%. So this is basically like a telltale sign that it will actually complete itself pretty well. All right, 37. It's gonna get faster also, by the way. But it's yeah, no, it's kind of like a tedious process to do the UVs here. It's a lot of waiting. Same as for the decimation part that we went through on the last stream. Those are taking they take there's a lot of like waiting time right during those. My recommendation for that, just look at something on the side. Um, or do something else at the same time. I mean, maybe not something else on the computer because like this is pretty much like taking all of the computer's strength to do this. But like if you have Netflix on the side or whatever, no. For example, you could watch the last season, the latest season of Black Mirror, which is pretty freaking good. I was like, like the season before that was not like as good as the rest, so I was like, ah, are they on a decline? But for my tastes, the new season of Black Mirror is it's pretty freaking good. The first episode is like really, it's really good. It starts with a banger. Or you could also watch Severance, the TV show Severance. Really good series with Adam Scott as the main character. Pretty good. Pretty weird. Like I tell my friends, it's kind of like a mix in between the game Control and the game Stanley Parable, without like the action beats necessarily. I love it. The episode with the astronauts is very cool. Yeah, you see, for me, I find it's like my least favorite episode, but I love it anyway. Like I'm just saying, it's like it will be hard to agree between everybody which one is the best episode or not because I find that they all have something very special to them. But yeah, the one with the astronauts is super. It's with Aaron Paul and I don't remember the name of the other actor now, but it's very good. Aaron Paul, who plays Jesse in Breaking Bad, such a great actor. Seriously, I'm shocked that we don't see more of him. Like I guess like he, but at the same time, I mean, there's something to like actors you don't see often and that you love. I think also it shows like that they are very very selective or that they are like content in like their situation. They're not chasing like fame necessarily. They just want to do like the right roles and stuff. I don't know. It gives me that feeling. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm not in their head, but yeah. All right, so we're going to be done soon for the forearm. Come on, 99%. Oh yeah. Okay. Something else that we're gonna do right after this is choose an how many UDIMs that we want this mesh to be split, because this is going to be not one UDIM for all of that is not going to be enough. The goal here is to not have any maps that is over 2K. Um, So it's going to make for many files, but they're going to be like less hard to handle. Like 4K maps are very hard to handle, so we're going to just bake everything in 2K. At least for like the processing files, like the normals and everything. So you see, like this is like no, we're gonna try with like 6 UDIMs for this, and I'm just gonna use the option to repack things. Did it save 6? Yeah, we got the 6 here. So it's not resetting everything we did, right? It's keeping all the cuts and everything, but it's just repacking in 6 UDIMs. We're going to import them in Max. We're just going to check the textile ratio, and I'm probably going to try to get like a textile ratio similar from my death character. It's not going to have as much, like the design itself, the sculpting doesn't have as much detail and precision as the Four Horsemen project. But yeah, sometimes I feel like the Four Horsemen project, I might have not giving it enough resolution. All right, so we're at 6. Let's export this. Save as. Let's see, we're going to name it UV. This time in FBX. Or do I do it in FBX? Let me check something. Just a sec, I'm getting there, getting there. I can find the answer. I'll just keep him in a OBG. I know I have to export him in FBX for when I'm going in the painter, but otherwise, yeah, let's just keep him in a OBG for the moment. Save. So in Max, I'm gonna first of all re-import Death's head. Come on, merge. Okay. So with this here, I'll be able to like apply a map to it. Shit, let's it was the forearm I did? Yeah. Import new forearm with the UVs. I can import as a single mesh, not editable poly. Don't import anything except for texture coordinates. Import. Okay. So in my material editor now, let's just use the compact for now. Let's take the last one here and let's, oops. Come on, dude. All right. Let's add the texture map. Come on. Error message for, I don't care. Oh boy. Anyways, general bitmap. Let's just go get a. There you go. Okay, so now we can see like the approximate textile ratio. We can also see if there's like a part that didn't unwrap correctly. But so far it's so far so good. And so the idea is to take the head. Let's remove the perspective. Come on, dude. So we can assign it the same material. Actually, for this purpose, I will make the head about the same size. Just to make sure that like the resolution will be like if I do like close-ups and stuff, I can expect the same resolution. So that's about the same head size, and when we look at the resolution in terms of like difference, it's pretty much the same. So I'm going to receive the same resolution as the head right now. And we're talking about the piece that will not be in focus. Like the forearm here is always going to be more of a background piece. So it's already generous. So I'm going to leave it to this. I'm not going to go more than that. We can get rid of the head because now I have this as my example of a textile ratio. So now I know that I can go here, load a new piece, and there we go. So hand low max. So yeah, very slow process, but it's rinse and repeat all the time. Nothing too much complex. 4K here, 8 right there. This option, click enable, right there. Right there, we can already choose how many UDIMs also this time. For the hand, I think 4 UDIMs is going to be enough. Maybe 5. Let's start with 4. Click on our little magic button, and there you go. All right, well, while we're stuck here waiting, is there anybody that have any questions? This is the Let's Chat, just chatting section of the stream. I've been, for those who've been listening for a little while, like I've been complaining about headaches and such for a little while now, and I think I might have found an alternative solution to taking ibuprofen and like stuff like that. I was gonna call them painkillers, but ibuprofen's not really a painkiller. It's more like a something to make the blood lighter. It helps with like inflammations and such. And yeah, so like we're trying to figure out like with my doctor what's going on. Why do I have like headaches pretty much like every day and such? And one one hypothesis that we have is that I did have like inflammation at the beginning of the year, and I've used so much anti-inflammatory pills like ibuprofen that now like my body's kind of like addicted to it, and when it doesn't have ibuprofen, it generates inflammation. Like that's a theory, a game theory, and basically the idea is to try to find an alternative that can alleviate headaches and try to get like I'll get off the ibuprofen basically. Like ibuprofen is it's such a mild thing, but like I'd rather just not have to take this every day. This is not a solution for me. And so yes, I've been trying something, and it's the first time I do that. Like I in quotes don't believe in that, but I guess I'm gonna have to change my tune. I'm trying essential oils, and it's an essential oil of peppermint, and man, it works. Just like a drops or two, and I just like rub like my forehead with it, and it does kind of like has like a freezing effect, but also like people say like the smell of it can also like help with like your brain basically, your head. And yeah, so far so good. It actually works pretty well. I've never known that this could be like an option. Like I'm not like really into like that world of essential oil and holistic things, right? But I don't. Also, I'm not like one to say that like somebody's wrong of like thinking anything as long as it doesn't hurt other people. And yeah, somebody just suggested that to me, and I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever. What do I have to lose? Like basically $15. That's what I have to lose. So I bought some. I tried it, and I love it. I really like it. It really helps. Wild lettuce supposedly helps against pain. Still need to try it myself. Like what do you mean by wild lettuce? Like lettuce that is not grown in like a garden? But I mean, where does that grow? Where do you get that? Hey, what's up everyone? Hello Daha. 85%. There you go. Ah, boy, yeah. It's a specific type of lettuce in the wild. It's the sap that supposedly alleviates pain. Oh yeah, really? Yeah. Makes me think of like my mom used to grow what's it called again? Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's the word in English. In French, we call it aloe vera. Aloe vera. I guess it's not even a French word, so it's just probably aloe vera in English. But yeah, I remember like those like they were like long like hard leaves. I don't even know if you can call that a leaf. And you just like break it open, and inside there's like a liquid that actually supposedly is good for coagulation and such. Whoa! Did you hear that drilling downstairs? That's right under me. The constructions guys are still there. I think they're going to be there for like another 2 months. So yeah, for people who don't like the drilling, see you in 2 months. Lactica verosa. Okay, cool. Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. Aloe vera, yes. Yeah, there we go. Hydration plant. Yeah, yeah, right. That's how it feels also. So yeah, you see now we're at 4 UDIMs. Now it's packing them, and we'll really just truly know how it actually looks once I've placed the mesh in max beside everything. I like to see it as a whole in terms of like its textile ratio. Drilling all day. Yeah, man, that's my life. Drilling all day, partying all night. All right, boom, UVs. Save. Come here. Actually, let's delete the old one. Import. Hand. What? It's not saved. It did not. It did not save. Does? Sorry. Okay, it did save. It just took a while. Okay. Yeah, Rhythm's pretty great. Sorry, he's like right below me. Okay, so you can see that the hand is going to need much more UDIMs than that. And the reason why is because the hand is actually multiple meshes. Like if you compare its mass, it's about the same mass, but the hand has more like parts like hidden in the cracks in between. It's made of like more parts, so it is going to be like a much more needy mesh. And judging by the size of things, like easily like double. Like if you look at the size of a square, you can fit like almost 4 in one square, which means by rule of square, it's double, right? So 2 times the amount of space of 2D space will be able to help in regards to that. So there we go. We got it. Repack. So yeah. So the hand is probably the most problematic or consuming, let's say, consuming mesh from the entire character that we have, because most of my characters has been built in like few meshes. Like I've just like sculpted on a volume, which is going to help. But the more objects that you have that are like floating, the more you're going to need UDIMs for that. And at the end of the day, the only problem with this is just actual file size. That's going to be the only problem. Like, but that's the trade-off. Is that you save a lot in time, and Arnold and Max are able to handle enough of the polygons. It's just that like yeah, you're gonna need it's just we're gonna require like more like computer space for sure. But I mean, hard drives are pretty cheap these days, so it's not like graphic cards, so you should be fine. And also the good thing about my process is that it does not require like an extremely good graphic card. There's nothing like we're not even going to render in GPU with my my process. Okay, actually, let's save it. Let's put like a 2 beside it, just so we know. Let's go here. Delete this. Import. Let's just wait that the file appears. There you go. 2. Import. Kablam. So it's a little less good in resolution, but like once again, like I said, it's like a mesh that's going to be almost this one. This one is like at feet level also, so we don't need something very high in resolution. So let's get to the next mesh. Hand, leg, low, leg, max. Boom. Leg. All right, leg. Oops. 4K. Eight. Now this is, let's put it to 6 UDIMs. Let's try with 6 UDIMs and go. Let's go. Have you guys seen the what I think is the leaked pictures for GTA 6? The reason why I'm talking about that, and bear in mind, I'm talking only about some images that I saw when I checked my phone today from one source on Facebook, so I might be completely wrong, but let me search. Let's see before I start saying something that's absolutely not true. Yeah, that kind of looks like the images that I saw. Okay, this is not. This is not it. It's not it either. Well, you know what? Seem to have a hard time finding it on Google, so I won't put my hand in the fire that what I saw was really it. But yeah, anyways, whatever. The impression that I had is when I looked at it, I thought they were like just like photos of people hanging around, like in Miami, and basically at some point I just look closer and I'm like, oh shit, that's 3D, and the environment lighting was just like off the chart. It was so good. Yeah, the that looked pretty nice. I mean, I always have a fun time with GTA. They're just like it's just a fun game, fun sandbox things, and but also like I mean like really good writers. Like the stories are always super good. The characters are really nice, and yeah, it's just like fun overall game. I mean, it's kind of like hard to. It's rare that Rockstar do anything that's not fun. I mean, I had such a good time with Red Dead 2 also. Man, I mean, I'm all in. I was all in for the story and everything. It really like got me. It's been a while since the last GTA. It's crazy. Passage of time is just nuts. All right, I'll just leave for few seconds even. I'll be back in a second. Nope. Art Fix was right. It was the micro. I forgot to put it. So, hi. Yep. Yeah, I was just saying for those who print STLs and are interested in them, we just came out with a new one today. My Undead Knight is available. So you can just go at the links at the bottom of the screen. Just go on the chaosmasons.com website or just go straight to the Chaos store and yep, you'll have it. He's right there. All right, so I kind of like have a feeling that maybe he doesn't have enough resolution for the leg. After all, we're gonna check. We're gonna see. All right, so resolution is better than the forearm. All right, we're good. That sounds good. Let's just go quickly around it, see if there's like a problem, something that like exploded or did not unwrap. We're good. I feel that the only problems that I encounter sometimes with unwrapping like this is when there's meshes that are like long flat meshes. Like sometimes you have that in mechanical design, and I feel it's pretty much the only time that I encounter things that are problematic. Most of the time, just like using those options with Rism, you get like everything done correctly. Easy peasy. Okay, how much do you dims for this one? Let's go to 5, because I actually 4. I think this is gonna unwrap so it'll be so easy to unwrap. I just need to have like good resolution. Or you know what? Let's go 5. I'm just a little bit generous. And unwrap. This one is probably gonna unwrap even quicker than the others. For one, it's like the mesh is less dense, and also there's not that much like edges and like things to calculate because like there's like this parameter here, it basically just um like it takes like a bit of like information, right? So it just makes the process a little bit longer. But like if you don't have parts of the mesh that are like complex, it just makes the entire process go faster. Like you see, we're already done. Boom. So you see it can go like extremely fast. And some of you might say like, oh, but your like seams, they're like really not well placed. It's like, well, do not worry about that. It won't show in the end with that process at the very least. Because we're gonna use tree plan our projection in Painter, so you're gonna be all good. All good. Import, scan UVs. Yeah, you see? That's really generous. That actually might even be a little bit too overkill. Do I want to go with this? It's just one map. It's not the end of the world. It's a bit overkill. It's such a small file. It's fine. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Next one, skin, torso now. See, we just have 2 to go, and we're done. 2 to go. If I have time tonight, I'll even do the baking. Baking doesn't take much time, actually. But the thing about baking, though, is like when I bake and I stream, sometimes it cuts the video because it really takes all the processing power. So that's the only drawback from streaming while doing baking. All right, so for this one, we're gonna go to 6 UDIMs as well. Go. Trying to learn 3D sculpting, this technical looking stuff intimidates me. Well, I mean, okay, so I'm gonna say something. The real way of going by doing this is such a pain in the ass. I'm actually showing like a cheat version to be able to display like your characters in a traditional like 3D environment. Because like real retopo is like really a pain in the ass. So um, what I have to say about that is welcome to the world of 3D. It's super complex, but there is so much tutorials out there. You can absolutely learn how to do everything. So it might be intimidating. It's normal. You're having the normal reaction, but just don't give up to that. At that point, I mean, just take things one thing at a time. That's me. I'm talking about it. I'm going through the motions because I've been doing this exact technique like 12 times now, and I've been in the industry for like 13 years or so. So I mean, I'm used to it. But I mean, even me after 13 years in the industry, when there's something new that appears, like I just look at it and I'm just like, ugh, something else to learn. And some of them are like really boring and, and everything. So it's a normal reaction. You have a new tool, there's buttons everywhere. You can't make sense of like anything, but you'll just realize that with everything, it's always a matter of like 10% of it is really useful, not even. And you can do like a lot with very few in every technique or software. So don't worry about it. One thing at a time. Yeah, like Gio was saying, Rotopo can even be like kind of like relaxing at times. Yeah, because I mean, like for me, like the most brain racking thing is concept. Like when I do like 3D concept and stuff, like I can feel my brain burning. Then like when I do sculpting, it's like relaxing because it's a bit going through the motions and just like yeah, it's like a language that I know more than concepting as well. It requires less just like consideration, I would say, than concept. And then when you get to retopo, it's just like almost like zero consideration. It's just there's just like a few rules to follow. You could just go through them, and it's relaxing because it's less like brain racking. So yeah. Unpopular opinion, I like to do retopo. I can turn off my brain. Well, you see, it's exactly what I just said. That's I don't feel it's the unpopular opinion actually, Sammy. I think I've spoken with enough people that like they pretty much always say the same thing. It's like it's almost like guilty pleasure. It's like, you know what, I kind of like retopo. It's just retopo can get long and boring real fast. So it's like too much retopo. It's yeah, too much sculpting. Normally you don't get the same kind of like aversion to it, but too much retopo sometimes can be like yeah. Sonar, hello cows. Love your work. I have a question. I use Corona renderer. Do you think Arnold is far away better than Corona? Did you ever tried rendering characters in Corona? Cedric used to render in Corona before, and I know he really liked it, and he did some pretty nice things. I didn't touch Corona personally, but I think it's pretty good. I think if I remember correctly what Cedric said, it's that Arnold is better for doing skin, but that's the only thing that the only difference that I really heard. And that's if I remember correctly as well. So, no, you should be cool with Corona. That's why you have a second monitor with TV show on. Yes, exactly. I actually have two extra monitors. Like I have my Cintiq in front of me, and I got a monitor right there and a monitor right there. And one of my screen is for work, everything that has to do with work. Another of my screen is for like mostly like reference images and a TV show or like podcast or whatever that I have on the side, and the center one is for whatever software I'm using right now. It's pretty much how I work. Yes, SSS could be better in Arnold. Sure. Yeah. For personally, I'm really happy with the SSS in Arnold. It just it's simple and it works. It works well enough for my tastes, at least. And yeah, like the first like render software that I've learned how to use, except for like game engines when working in studios, right? I'm just talking about stuff that's available to the public, was Keyshot, and like I was able to get around, but it was kind of like a bit annoying. Actually, the first one I learned was Marmoset, like I think the first version of Marmoset actually. But at some point, I just wanted to use like a software. You don't need to decimate or do anything. You can just throw your high res in it and render. And Keyshot was good enough for a while for it. But I did need something like better. And after a while of like using Keyshot, I started to also render just in ZBrush when I was doing just like small projects, just rendering in ZBrush with a few passes. And yeah, and then I tried Arnold basically. Sometimes I still render in Keyshot, but it's just like it's mostly just for like legacy purposes. Like my insectoids are rendered in Keyshot, so I just keep the same engine just because it's like it's easier that way. Also, I mean, if you do just like mechanical stuff, like Keyshot can be good enough. It has enough options with a graph editor to do like curves and occlusion. As long as you don't do like something that's refined, like a like really scratched up robot, like with like painted metal that's coming off and stuff. Like this can get actually pretty complex. But I mean, at the end of the day, you can do like a lot of good things. Like I'll just open up like my website for a second. I'm actually gonna change my personal website soon for something that looks a bit more modern. Right now, it's pretty bland. But yeah, so like it's all of the cool stuff I've been working on. Yeah, the Horsemen available to purchase as collectible statues right now. Get yours now. Um, so yeah, like all of the like these are all rendered with Arnold, the technique I'm showing right now. It's all Arnold. Let's show a turntable. That's Arnold. The technique we're gonna go through. Same for the Elden Frog was also Arnold. So I mean, I really love it. It's nice. But you see now the insectoids, these were rendered with Keyshot, actually. I'm really satisfied of the results. You can do like some cool thing. You can see like even like those scratches where like the paint metal is going away, but it's kind of like it's not like the real like the effect is not like 100% really. Whereas like in Arnold, I feel like you can actually get some better results since you can do the textures and substance using normal maps and such. But it's still pretty good. But also like I mean like if you want, you can just like do like your renders like yourself, like with ZBrush passes. Like this was done with ZBrush, but it's just that like it requires a lot of manipulation in Photoshop afterwards. But you can get like some cool things, and you can work on your mood. And it's just the mood you have to work on it yourself, right? You have to kind of like get your atmospherics and all those effects. You have to do it yourself. Like the base render for this was like pretty low. Uh, how can I say? Was not really rich. But if you know how to manipulate, you can do some cool stuff. Like same as this. This was rendered in ZBrush. So it's a lot of like polypaint work in ZBrush, and then you render and you, yep. So it's just to say that like once you, but you okay, actually, you know what? The fun thing of doing it this way is that you actually have to make the effects yourself. So you kind of like have to learn to like to like you know what's going behind like rendering, like the types of lighting, the mood, how to create a mood. Like you need to learn how to do it yourself. So you kind of like learn about lighting and composition much more because you're doing it yourself rather than just like taking what the renderer is giving you. So it's a good learning exercise actually to go through it this way. Yeah, and this one is like almost the first one that I did just in Photoshop and ZBrush. So you don't get to have many angles. Like I just did one angle for each, and like then I do like zooms, close-ups. So I just render like a gigantic image, enough to be able to do the close-ups and all. Like I see that's a good size for a close-up. Yeah. The hair was done in ZBrush with a fiber mesh, by the way. It works pretty well for like short hair like this. Look at his face. Look at his dumb dog face. Love it. My dog has this kind of like smile also. Like my dog's not a pit bull. A pit bull. A Jesus Christ, boxer. It's not a boxer. Gee, what's bulldog? There you go. My God. Like my dog's not a bulldog, but yeah, he kind of like has this like same smile. It's funny. I like it. Anyways, fun's over. Yeah, Dogo. All right. Save. Let's open. All right. How's the resolution for this? Oh, I think I want to put it maybe one more UDIM. Feels maybe a bit low. Let's go to 7. Ask to redo this. While it's waiting, I'm just gonna take a second. I'll be back in a few seconds again. All right, back again. Here and back again. Let's re-import this. Giving one more UDIM when you have 6 is not going to make that much of a difference, but I'm also not looking that much for a difference. Already that is better, so I'm happy with that. All right, last piece. Last piece, the upper arm. Load. All right, Chaos, when I use ZBrush, the details are not the same as, wait, it's just loaded. Let's just start the process. UDIMs, this one is going to require a bunch, I think. Well, it's not a lot of pieces, so once again, I think 6 might do it. Yeah, let's try 6. There's not much floater pieces in this one, so. All right. Go. All right. Yes, when I use ZBrush, the details are not the same than Max. How can you achieve the same result in Max with normal and displacement? Absolutely, you will need one of them, or else you will never get the same amount of details. Like what I do right now is I decimate the model and I keep like a fair amount of detail, but like the micro detail is like disappearing. Some of them is not even there yet. Like I need to do the texture to get them, but there's no way you're gonna get the refined detail from ZBrush without baking a normal map or a displacement in Max. It's fun because I'm seeing the sales I'm making with the Undead STL, and sometimes I see like names of like people that I know that are painters, and I'm always like, okay, good, nice, you got one. This means I'm going to probably see my character painted in not too long. There's one right there. It's just, it's always cool to see your models getting painted. Ah, Sonar, thank you, thank you. Hey Marco, thanks to your stream. I get to know Rhythm, lifesaver, man. Hey, it's my pleasure. Rhythm is much more complex than just that. You can really go far and save a ton of time. So check it out. There's much more to learn about that. Sorry about my English. I'm from Argentina. No problemo. I love to have people from all over the world coming and chatting with me. I encourage it. Especially people that come ask questions during streams like this, where it's like I need to figure out stuff to fill the air. Like if anybody knows like a recommendation for like shows, like right now I'm really like in a mood like Black Mirror and Severance, like things that are like a bit like off the margins and everything. I always take recommendations. Do you have in mind the next character? No, not yet. Not yet. I mean, I do have ideas. I could always just start doing the spider, which I kind of like half started at some point. It's just I'm not so 100% certain about our design, so I don't know. There's also part of me that was like thinking of like streaming my process with the elementalists that I'm working for the Neo Apocalypse project. Those I like to work in like privately on them, but like you know what, maybe like I could just like open up, do a few streams. Also, like the process is very long because I'm really taking my time to get really like all the details correctly, and it's a bit sometimes it's a bit of a puzzle because of printing, because of the printing, and it could be like long streams, long silent streams of just me figuring out things. We'll see. How would you go around if this was supposed to be in game? Well, the biggest difference is that I would have done a proxy first, not like go straight to polish like I did for this exercise. And I would just like have an animator do like a test rig and a test animation to see like what kind of like problems they get from animating this character. And after this back and forth, now I would have went and do the hard surface model based on the feedback I got from the riggers and everything. Because like especially like the way there's like stuff rigged to his back, there's going to be a lot of like constraint animation, and you don't want to waste too much time doing something that's final before you handle those things. So yeah, that would have been the first thing. I would have done just a quick blocking. Um, we call it like proxy. Actually, some people call it proxy, others call it a proto. And yeah, that would have been one of the big difference. The second biggest difference is that like I would have not used a automated process like this. I would have done a real retopo for the character based on the riggers' specifications on how they actually want the model to be retopoed and delivered, basically. So the process is very different. The approach during the sculpting and also the process in between the sculpting and the texturing. Everything that has to do with retopo and whatnot. What style do you think is out of your comfort zone? Well, I mean, I got my own style. There's a certain versatility to it. So the moment it's not my style, and the moment it's something that has a style. I mean, some stuff is, and that's not like a stab at anything, but some stuff don't really have like a style. It's more just like a common style. Like this is easy to do, but like anything that's outside of my style and it's its own style, well, requires an adaptation and can be like complex. So I don't know. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, there's some stuff that would be hard to do. Like, for example, like when you sculpt in ZBrush, it's unpopular to have things with like a lot of negative space. So if you do a character that has a lot of negative space, sometimes you have to have a different approach that can actually be complex. Hard, I don't know, but complex and time consuming, yeah. Try to find something that would be hard for me to do. Like I don't know. I mean, I like to think that like I'm pretty versatile, and anything that people send my way, I would be able to do at the very least a decent job at it. So I don't know. I have to think about it. There's some stuff that would not interest me. I would be actually maybe making the quality subpar, like stuff that's just too cartoon. Maybe it's, but like I mean, not even like I love cartoon. It's just I don't know. I mean, like for example, if I had to work on like a game of Bratz, let's say, like the Barbie, like the little Barbie thing. Let's say it's kind of like not super inside of like my interests. So yeah, that could actually make it maybe a bit hard for me to really get motivated. But you see, it's yeah. And even then, I mean, maybe there could be something fun in there. Like I don't want to poo-poo it either. I'm not that kind of person. All right, so resolution is, so you see for like this part, we're getting close to the head. The resolution is a bit under what I thought. How much you them? 6? See, for this one, like I could actually give it a shot and go to, let's say, 8. I feel like I don't have 8 or 7. Let's go 8, whatever. Um, would a senior artist spend time doing low poly on a complicated mesh like this, or you assign it to someone else? I believe that like people should be responsible for the entire character. I don't believe in centralizing skills. I think, and this is how we actually also do it at Chaos Masons, is the very least that the biggest majority of the time we actually have the people working from A to Z on the characters. It's just like people just feel more like pride. I feel this way. In terms of now of like what studio do, like I've heard of studios that like they just like do the high res and they send the low poly to like more junior people and stuff. I don't believe that's a good mentality, but maybe sometimes it needs to be done. I'm not judging, but yeah, that's how I feel about this. Likeness. Yeah, likenesses are pretty hard. They're doable. It's fine. It can be fun, but it's not the thing that makes that I get the most fun out of it. Like I don't really like doing likenesses. It's hard, and I don't get the satisfaction that I could get from doing like my own design or something never seen or that sort of stuff, right? So it's more of a question of like preference, and because it's a question of preference, there's also the question that I did not practice it a lot. Hence, it would be like it would take more time for me to do it. But I did my share of likenesses in the past, and yeah, it's something that's good to know how to do for sure. Hello, hello. Oh, Mo is in the house. UV time? You're goddamn right. It's UV time. UV all day, party all night. When I work on my personal project, watching your stream, it really feels relaxing, like being in a small play group. Well, I really appreciate that. I love it. I love that you can feel this way. I love to know that this stream could have this utility. So I'm really happy to hear this. All right, we're gonna be done with Rhythm. We have everything here. Everything is is at an acceptable texel ratio. So we're gonna be good. And we're gonna do the thing that we've did earlier. We're gonna redo it the way to normal because it probably I would bet that it was that the normal was not recorded in the OBG and in and out of Rhythm. So let's just restart the waiting process. Um, will today be a rendering stream? No, because I'm probably just only going to be able to bake after that, and then like it's going to be the end of the stream. Or I'm not even like sure if I'm going to bake. I'm going to make a bake test at the very least. But yeah, we'll see. Next one is going to be texture. And then after that, rendering. Hi there, how do you control the nightmare when unwrapping with auto UV? Well, I mean, I'm showing it right now. I'm not even handling anything. I'm just taking what Rhythm gives me, and it's going to be giving me good results at the end. Man, always a pleasure seeing you work and stream. First time chat. Hello, Martin. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so 45, we figured out at the beginning of the stream that 45 was the good amount for this, so let's go with 45 again. This 3D artist like UV all party all night. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Hello, morning, night, everyone. I have a question about you, Dims. When working with UDIMs and you have more than 2 or 3 or more, each UDIMs should have the same textual density. Well, I mean, it does by default, or else you're going to have like difference of resolution in between your different UV islands, some that are like connected to each other, even if they're in different UVs, UDIMs, and it might actually create baking issues and visible seams. I mean, sometimes the UVs don't cover all the empty spaces, so you can scale or sometimes like that. Sorry, my English not good. Your English is pretty good. And no, do not touch the size of the, like, I mean, if it gives you a UDIM and it's like empty a little bit, it's just a matter that like you were not able to fill the entire thing because some of your UV islands were like too big for the canvas. So either maybe like split them and do a redistribution, repacking. That's what I would say. Is resin free? No, it's not, but it's not expensive. Would you recommend being a more specialized in stylized versus realistic style, or have both required? I'd say that you usually will get job for your style, so you don't need to be like 100% versatile. But the more you are, the more job offer you can have. But I think that what's the most important on top of that is making sure that you display things that you like, because that's what you're going to get a job about. No, you're never going to receive a job offer of something that is different from what you're showing on your portfolio. So make sure that like in majority your portfolio shows stuff that you want to do, and in minority show that like will get you a job. Like 70%, 30%. No problem, no problem, Andres. All right, so we're here at this stage. Okay, so then now we're at the stage of well, we know our size. The size of our character is good. Because I tested with like my other mesh before, so we're good with that. We're gonna need to actually give different names and material name also for each of the parts. So right off the bat, I mean they do have like all of their already assigned name. Some names are stupid, but it should be good enough for the naming inside of Max. I mean, I could make them just like less complex, like for arm and leg, skin, torso, upper arm. Maybe actually I should name them also like something that's going to group them together. Mega Gato. Mega Gato. I should pronounce it correctly. Mega Gato. El gato muy mega. There we go. Boom. And also name the parts. So like this was skin. You can even give it like a color. Oop. This one, torso. Leg. Upper arm. Forearm. And lastly, but not the least, hand. Boom. Hand. All right. They're all named correctly. Skin, torso, leg, upper arm, forearm, and perf. So technically we are done with the process inside of Max. Once we'll bake, the next process will be in Max will be actually the rendering scene. So yeah, and we're gonna work with like the legs not in symmetry like this. It's gonna be a bit annoying to look at it this way for a while. But it will be just faster to work like this in Substance. So let's do it this way. Okay. Let's check the questions. 5 stallion, brainerism. No, stallions, Stalin. Read that wrong. I'm manually retopoing a ballerina that I sculpted. It's for porn. Well, you know what? More power to you. I mostly saw character works from Chaos Masons, but do you guys do other stuff like environment or hard surface? I mean, we do hard surface. It's like part of our portfolio. Environment, we're actually a little bit into it as well. We haven't been able to show much about that though. Alright. Yeah, so okay, so the next, now we're actually going to, am I gonna keep that in bake files? Yeah. Will it need that? Wait, let me check something real quick. So that's just a max. Those are the renders. This is gonna have just, there's not even the EX in there. Okay. Okay, all right. So yeah, so we're gonna export all of that in one FBX. Export selected. It's gonna be all. Wait, where's my, there we go. Save. What do I want to keep? Preserve orientation, conserve deforming dunny bones. I don't think that I need this. Don't triangulate at all. Well, it's already triangulated in a sense. Preserve instance, target, and binormals. You want to keep that. Smoothing group, let's keep that. They're all at 1, but whatever. Don't keep animation, don't keep lights, don't keep anything. Okay, so that should be good. Taking a little time. We're still talking about a mesh of 6 to 7 million polys. Actually, let's open Painter in the meantime. I updated my Painter. I don't know what's new in it. All right. Did it export? Yes, it did. We got it. Okay, so new. Oh, I don't remember the options here. It's been a little while that I did it. Oh yeah, also, I'm gonna have to do something stupid before my computer crashes, but I need to, no, it's not in per, where do I go for this? I just open like a random, yeah, I have to go and make sure that my Windows is not displaying any options. There we go. So like this is the folder option. I have to go in view and click here. Always show icons, never thumbnails, or else Painter is gonna make my is gonna crash basically. It's really stupid, but that's just what it is. That's the workaround that I found. Yeah, I'm just trying to get an answer here for the things that I'm looking for. Okay, wait, I got it here. It's my notes. Okay, so there we go. So you do new, you go select your FBX. You keep it in, you don't need to change anything else, OpenGL. And I think just this, you have to make sure that it's actually preserve UV tile layout, and the rest should be all right. So you open it like this. So I don't think I'm gonna go through all the bakes during the stream. Maybe I'm even just gonna bake them like off screen, off stream, or maybe just during the next one. But I'm at least just going to show like something that I do when I start the process, just to help it go faster. All right, first of all, I don't need a 2D space. I got my guy over here. He's divided in all of these. Like, these are all the UDIMs, right? We just need to see them. These are for all the pieces. And something that I'm going to do is right off the bat, okay, first of all, we can just save this since it's opened correctly. Bake files, boop. Let's put it in a new folder called texture. Mega Gato. Boom. Okay. Let's go in texture setting. So we're not even going to do any of the prep work right now. There's just one thing I'm going to do. You go in bake mesh. Oh, it opens like a new menu. Well, it's not in window form, I guess. That's the only difference. So I'm going to keep it in like 512 like this. And all of the other options, they don't matter. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to load every high res. Do I have my high-res files exported? I do not have my high-res file exported. Oh boy, this is gonna... I'm gonna say it, it's gonna suck balls. It's gonna suck balls. Gonna suck gigantic balls. Gonna have to export them first. Yeah, so like I was thinking of like just doing some stuff off the strain, but I don't know. At the same time, I'd rather just show it. It's the chance for you to show like the real length of things. All right. And select the high res. The high res is always the one in color. Also, I'm gonna just take the good practice of putting them all on the one poly group. I think in the past it did help me with a few things. And HP. Export with polypaint because the polypaint is going to be the used for the ID mapping in Substance. Super awesome process. Yeah, this is definitely going to fill the time for the rest of the stream. Exporting those meshes and doing that like initial bake thing. Oh yeah, let's check what people are saying. Is there a sort of test for applicants who want to work in Chaos Masons? Well, you sent your portfolio, and sometimes we do have people do tests. Most of the time, actually, it's really rare that we don't do tests. And if we think that there's a potential, yeah, we send you like a test and everything. But it starts by sending the portfolio. Mo says, Painter is an annoying bitch. Mo, please. Please. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not like freaking Max when it doesn't want to work, or dare I say, ZBrush. My lovely ZBrush. It does have a few things pretty frustrating in terms of like the crashes and stuff. We have to be honest with that. That's what it is. It's the best thing in the world, but nothing can be perfect. But come on. Oh, Marco, remember that utility I shared to disable the thumbnails? No, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember. I don't know why I would not have checked it. Maybe it just didn't work for my needs. I don't know. Maybe send it again. It crashes if you open it with a rendering, with any rendering stuff, Marmoset, UE, or anything. You're saying it crashes? I tolerate ZBrush. It's my favorite child, then SP. But Max, I hate it with all my willpower. You know what? Join the club. Let's start a hate crew of Max. It's a very healthy thing. It's better to make UVs from ZBrush or always export to other software such as Max or Rism. I very often use the UVs of ZBrush to do just like tilings and stuff in my sculpt in ZBrush. But the moment that I do UVs in order to be used outside, I use something else because ZBrush is really not the best when it comes to optimizing the packaging of UVs, and this is something extremely crucial, I believe, even in this process we're doing right now. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. We'll make it. I believe we'll make it. The good thing is, once that we're done with that and the baking, well, actually, you know what? The thing I'm going to do, like before the end of the stream, is something that will make the baking go much faster during the next stream. So the next stream we'll do bakes and starting the texture, and you're gonna see that like things can go pretty fast at this point, and they get interesting as well. So basically, it's been 2 streams that I do something that I consider like really freaking boring. So it's like 4 hours total of work in the end for this character. So it's nice to be able to say at least that like in half a day you can get like this character, go through like the most boring process, and then get back to the good stuff with texturing and such. So you see, it's still like a very fast process to do like a 2D character. This one is going to export quickly. It's called Icaros, solves those crashes when some 3D apps want to show the FBX OBG thumbnail. Well, yes, okay. Basically, you can disable the thumbnail by file type. Okay, let me write that down. I promise this time I will check. Icaros. Cool. Let's do this. All right. Almost done. Torso, HP, boom. Then the upper arm, and then a little process, and we're done. Basically, I'll just explain it in advance. The process we're gonna do is that we're just gonna take one like section of our character. We're gonna ask it to bake every high-res model on it. And what that's going to do, it's going to create temporary files inside of the baking folder for Painter. Well, the same as the bake files themselves. And it's going to create like temporary files that is just like a language that Substance uses that actually helps it to not have to reprocess every time you rebake. So basically we're just gonna like do it in one shot. We're gonna process all of the files, so then when we bake things we can actually do it faster. And the reason why this is important, well, 2 things. First of all, when you start the process, you'll actually, you know what, I'll probably end my stream right before doing the process, because it's gonna take like a 30 minutes to do, maybe 20 minutes, but it's gonna make the bakes go like super fast afterwards. And while you'd have this 20, 30, you see like I'll hit the button, I'll stop my stream, I'll go have lunch, and when I come back it's going to be done. And also when I'm going to bake for real, you'll see that like I never bake the curvature with everything else, because for some reason the curvature is the one that makes the computer crash, well, the software crash the most often. So we're going to avoid this problem by simply baking the curvature by itself. And I'm going to bake the AO by itself, because I'm going to bake the AO with the entire model visible, not just parts of it. So it's already I'm going to have like a few pieces to bake many times. Like for each piece, I'm going to bake 3 times. Like everything but AO and curvature, then AO, then curvature. And I don't want to have to reprocess like the thing every time, so that's why Substance creates this temporary file. But to go faster, like I said, you can just like bake them all one shot. You're going to scratch your you're not even going to take what the results give you. It's just a matter of like going through the process, so it creates all those files. Substance new bake method is faster. Well, it's going to be the first time that I test Substance for since the update. I haven't updated in the past weeks, months. So yeah, if there's something new, then we shall see. Oh, I forgot to have them all be one poly group. Oh, well, never mind. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay, so there we go. So now you go and you add everything that's called HB. One, two, three, four, five. I have 6 meshes. Y, forearm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll just remain like the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. 6 objects. So they're all there. 5, 12. No, nothing. The rest, like I said, who cares? Bake selected. Return to poly painting mode. Wait. Is it like baking now? It's the first time I've opened bake selected meshes. Why is that grayed out? And why is there a buffering? It looks like a cage. It's loading the high poly meshes. But it's also displaying like a cage right now, so is it kind of like calculating like if I decide to use the cage? Okay, well if it's loading, I mean that's not how it was before. I hope it's still going to be working with my process. I guess we'll wait then. Yeah, but how long am I gonna wait? Okay, and what's this again? It's like calculated something else again. I mean, we'll open the file explorer and see if it does create my temporary files at least. Even if it's a new technique, I'll be reassured if yeah, see they're there. Okay, so HB has been, which is like this stupid name, has been. So you see it's going through them, creating them. So right now it's creating the one for the legs. Okay, it just created it. There we go. So once it's actually, went through all of the files, we're gonna be good. We have skin, we just need torso and upper arm. So Mo's saying Marmo is love when it comes to bake. AO bakes are so fast there. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things actually. The things I'm using are making AO bakings really fast as well. So I never really was tempted to go to Marmoset, and it centralizes with like my texture process. But yeah, I've heard really good things about Marmoset, so that's good. Okay, we're just missing upper arm, and we should be good. Okay, I just saw it appear on my. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's good. So technically, bake selected textures. So far, this process right now, it created the files that I was talking about. So I'm not even going to bake. I'm not even going to click here because like it did create the files that I wanted. So I'll return in polypaint mode. I guess. It didn't seem to have liked me clicking on that button. I said polypaint mode. Wow, I meant painting mode. Ah, boy, come on, dude. Why is it so slow? I hope it doesn't. It did not delete my my Aspen files. It's making my entire computer lag. I don't know if the stream is gonna lag though. Okay, why clicking on that button? Why did it make it? Wow, okay, jeez. Just want to confirm I didn't lose my files. Aspen, no, they're there. Okay, they're all there. We're good. We're good. Alright, so technically I don't need to do that. I'll still save this file. Here, save. This file is going to become extremely heavy after we're done baking. Like right now it's 400 megabytes. It's going to become probably like around like 8 gigabytes the moment we're going to bake the character, but it's going to stay around this amount. So you see it's enormous what it's going to create like file, but it's not really going to change much afterwards, so no worries about that. But yes, you're going to get like an insanely huge file for sure. Well, now that it's baked, we're pretty much done. Next stream we're going to do the real baking, and then we're going to start on the texturing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. We're going to be best friends, and yeah, we'll get through it. So there you go. I retired a faster statement. That's fine. Cool. Well, anyways, thanks for everyone for joining. And yeah, next week I'll probably do. Oh wait, no, next week. Next week. That's right. Okay. Next week I'm actually not going to be able to do a stream because next week is my vacation. I just did like a little business trip recently where I couldn't do the stream, but like next week is actually me taking some time off for the year. It's my only week off, and yeah, so it's gonna be great though. So yeah, sorry for that. Next week we're gonna skip, and maybe I should do like another stream this week to compensate, or we'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, so so we'll see. Maybe I'll do a stream Friday. No promises, but we'll see. So, anyways, take care, everyone, and I'll see you very soon. Have a lovely day, a lovely night, lovely week. We'll see you soon. You're all beautiful. I love you. You're all great people. You all deserve the best. All right, here we go. Ciao, everyone.